All right, so in my opinion, this is the absolute worst colorway of the Air Jordan 4s that originally released back in '89. But is that a bad thing? Let's go ahead and get into this video. The new industrial blue Air Jordan 4s that come with, looks like dog poop on the bottom. Yeah, so my son wore these already one time, destroyed, just completely beat. But this is a true test to the product, I guess. I mean, anytime a kid gets a pair of sneakers, how do they do after one day of school? Yeah, not so good. Anyway, this is a new colorway of the Air Jordan 4 Industrial Blue. It's a brand new one for 2024. It's never been released before. The funny thing is there's a lot of controversy around the Industrial Blue colorway. The fact that they changed the name from Military Blue to Industrial Blue definitely has a lot of people kind of heated. Maybe it's because of political reasons. I honestly don't know. There's been no like official statement as far as I've seen, but it does say Military Blue on the box. So for those wondering, it does still say Air Jordan 4 Retro. This is a GS pair for a kid, off-white military blue. So interesting that it's off-white as well, because that's not like really off-white. But all sorts of misinformation on the box labels. I wish the box labels were better, to be honest. Sometimes it's a little bit of a pain. Anyway, I wanted to do a video on these before my kid beat him up after one wear. Anyways, this colorway drops on 5/4/7 a.m. $215 at retail for this colorway in men's sizes. Kid sizes are a little bit cheaper than that, but still kind of an expensive pair of sneakers. But these I think look great. I know the color shade of the military blue is a little bit darker than the last two retros that we've seen. But I don't mind it. I think it looks kind of nice, even though it is a little bit darker. So it is very, very familiar with the last couple retros. And for those that don't know, the military blue is actually one of 4 original colorways of the Air Jordan 4. This one being kind of the most interesting looking one because, again, it's military blue. It's not Jordan colors. So as I was mentioning, the Air Jordan 4 originally came out in 1989. It was the second version of the Air Jordan model that actually featured the visible air unit on the outsole, which back then was actually really revolutionary. The Air Jordan 3 is kind of the one that started the wave. It definitely needed it after the original Air Jordan 2 was fairly underwhelming. The Air Jordan 3 basically saved Jordan brand as a whole, and the Air Jordan 4 continued that wave. So why do I say this is the absolute worst colorway of the original 4? Well, as I was mentioning, there was only 4 original colorways. There's a fire red Air Jordan 4s, there's a white cement Air Jordan 4s, and then you have the bread colorway. So those 3 colorways are super, super iconic. Definitely more rotation in people's feet, I think, than the military blues. The military blues has actually only seen a retro in 2006 and 2012, and this is the first time we've actually got the proper retro with the Nike Air on the back instead of the retroed Jumpman. When they retroed them in 2006 and 12, they did not have the Nike Air on the back, so this is the first one that's like true to the form, but the colorway is a little bit darker than the other ones that we remember. I guess this is truer to the original ones. I didn't have the original ones, but that is what the rumor is. Now, why do I say, again, this is a worse colorway? I only say that tongue-in-cheek because at the end of the day, it's all subjective. Anybody knows that. If you like the blue colorway the best, then this is the best colorway to you. But if you look at them as a group of the original 4, this is kind of like the ugly duckling of the group because you have the bread colorway, the fire reds. Those are more iconic in my opinion because they are Chicago Bull colorways. And then you have the white cement as well, which has had its place in history with Do the Right Thing and everything else. So I feel like this colorway gets the least amount of shine out of the original 4. In fact, some people might like other retro colorways better than these, which is totally fine. I mean, again, subjective material here. So why are these even a military blue colorway? Well, the rumor is because Michael Jordan's dad was in the Air Force, and that is what we have to go off of. It sounds like the uniforms and stuff had like a military blue to them. I'm not sure if that's actually 100% true. If you guys have more information, feel free to chime in the comment section. But it is a weird color combination in a sense for the OG colorway because it's not a UNC colorway where he went to college, and it's not Chicago Bull colors. So it's interesting that they, sometimes released kind of an odd duck sort of colorway, even back in '89. I think that's pretty awesome, actually. The fact that there was some reason that they released other colorways. Back then, though, they didn't do the deep cut storytelling that they do nowadays, so it is what it is. Now, we have seen a military black colorway, if you will, or an industrial black now, as MJO23 Dan pointed out on Twitter. Yeah, that is the other colorway of this that has the black sections. Those ones were really popular when they released, and so now we have the true retro of these. Now, I didn't get my size, unfortunately. That's why I'm reviewing my kid's size. I will tell you guys, the color blocking looks great. I know the color is a little bit darker, as I mentioned already, but I do like what we have here, and I look at the shoe and I think, underappreciated. Same as True Blue 3s. Definitely underappreciated considering the other colorways are more geared toward like diehard Jordan fans that are Chicago Bull fans as well because of the black and red and white. I do think that the quality of the materials is not very good. Like the leather is mega creased across the toe box on my kid's pair. To be fair though, these are big on my kid, so that's why he probably creased the crap out of these, is because he wasn't ready to wear them yet. I was thinking he was going to wear them when he grew into a 5. He's like a 4.5 right now. Any which way, the quality of the materials is not very good. Now again, I only have the GS pairs. If you guys have a difference in opinion or the materials are better on the men's pairs, leave a comment, but I don't necessarily think that's going to be the case in these. Sometimes you just don't get super quality materials, and in a pair like this where they're going to release like a million pairs or whatever it's going to be, I don't think that they're going to be able to use like top grain leather or anything like that on the shoes. Now the reimagined Bred 4s, top grain leather on those, that's actually something that's really impressive, even though people don't like the fact that it's not like the nubuck sort of material on the Air Jordan 4 Bred colorway. With the reimagined, it's the tumbled leather, but it's top grain leather, so it's definitely something noteworthy. I wish they would have used top grain leather on this, to be honest. Now as for the colorway, you have that military blue on the heel tab, the reverse side of the tongue, the eyelets for the laces, and then part of the midsole and on the outsole as well. And then you have the rest of the midsole done in white, and then hits of gray. Also, the hits of gray also extend around the mudguard of the shoe as well as the liner. You have a Jumpman tag on the tongue that is sewn on with the Jordan Jumpman logo and then Flight underneath that. I still remember when these came out back in the day because of the Flight logo on it. Like the idea and the concept of Air Jordan in the air with the ball and it says Flight, just a really cool concept that they went with back then. And obviously every kid just wanted to be like Mike, jump like Mike, float through the air like Mike and stuff. So I still remember my neighbor had the Bred colorway of the Air Jordan 4s. I was so jealous because I wanted them so bad. And I did not get the Air Jordan 4s, of course. I had the $20 Payless knockoff. So it was basically this equivalent to like a Walmart knockoff, like a Shaq shoe. It was pretty terrible. And I actually hooped in those like back in the day. It was not a fun time. That's part of the reason why I have my obsession that I have today, I'm assuming. But honestly, I just always liked footwear and I just couldn't even afford them. And now obviously it's been a kind of a field day. I like enjoy this like sort of occupation of YouTube and sharing my passion and stuff with you guys out there that are watching the video. So thank you for watching and subscribe if you guys are new to my channel. But leave a comment in the comment section. Do you guys find the Air Jordan 4 in the industrial blue / military blue an essential for 2024? I think it's a great colorway. Obviously, we're coming down on the end of the wave of the Air Jordan 4s, it seems like right now. The price points is part of the killer. I mean, $215 is kind of crazy, but I do think that this is like an essential colorway. I'm definitely going to be going for it. I had both of the last 2 retros, and I sold my last pair, you know, I think a year after the last retro, and I figured, you know what, I'm going to just get them back when they give them the Nike Air branding on the back, and I'll call it good. And that's what I plan on doing. So I'm pretty sure these are going to be fairly easy to get. They might sell out like a fake sellout, and then they'll restock, I'm assuming, a couple times as well. But are these on your guys' targets or not? Leave a comment in the comment section. Let me know if you guys are interested in picking them up. I will link them in the description. Take it over to sneakers when that drop ends up happening. But appreciate y'all for stopping by and watching. I'm going to have to like teach my kid how to clean his own shoes because these things are filthy. Have a good one. Hopefully see you back on the channel for some more content soon. All right. Peace, guys.